All right, welcome to the Wisdom Book Club this month, and it's going to be a short little group today. I guess everybody's recovering from the 4th of July holiday, so it's just Chuck and I today talking about books. So, Chuck, what have you been reading? How's it going?
Base.
Okay, well, I got two books going right now. One of them was I reported last month, and it's the the Baseball 100. It's a 31-hour book. It's got a lot of statistics in it, but a lot of stories, a lot of really neat stories. If you like baseball, it's really a good book. I gave the author last time. You want me to give it again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I knew you'd say that. See, it's Joe Panensky. Wait till I get it, because I cannot pronounce the last name.
The Baseball 100 by Joe Posnanski.
Podnansky.
Yeah, we heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other book is And Then We Hit a Rock. That's, if you look it up, you can find it with that. The title is like a paragraph long. It's a true, it continues on. It's a true story about family and dog and a cat and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, And Then We Hit a Rock, and it's by Greg. Now, I don't know the pronunciation of this, but I'll spell it. Buenzli.
Well, I'm not even going to attempt to say that.
No, but anyways, it's a really good book. It's
And what's the book called again?
And Then We Hit a Rock.
And Then We Hit a Rock. Okay.
Okay, and it's about a family of five, a husband and wife and three kids, and a dog and a cat, and they buy a real big sailboat used, and they got to get it ready, and they're going to travel around the world, and it's very humorous. Let's see, and a lot of little side stories, along the way, but it shows well, my brother-in-law used to say he had a boat. A boat is just a hole in the water that you pour money into, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, boy, they spent a lot of money getting the sailboat ready. And when they thought it was ready, it wasn't even close to being ready. So anyways, that's the two books I'm entertaining now.
All right, somebody recommended that baseball one to me because they're huge baseball fans. So, and I'm not, but I figured, all right, I'll give it a try. It might be good. Expand my knowledge here. But I couldn't get through it. There was too much
Space.
statistics, and I mean, it was interesting, but I couldn't handle 31 hours worth of it. So
Base.
I stopped it.
I've spread it over, well, it's taken me a month so far, because I can only take a little bit at a time also.
Yeah.
But the side stories to me are interesting, and a lot of these guys are back when I was a kid, and I remember having their baseball card, and I wasn't really into quote Major League Baseball back then because I was playing Little League and then um, uh, varsity baseball. So, but all the names are coming back now.
Right. Yeah. Well, I go to Roger Dean Stadium right here. I go to some of the baseball games when you know, the minor league plays or spring training. I like to go to those games. But I'm not like an avid baseball fan. I mean, I've been to a lot of Red Sox games at Fenway, but you know, it's a
Hey.
lot different going to the game than watching it on TV.
Yeah, I like going there. I like the atmosphere and everything.
Yeah,
I've only been to, I don't know, 2 or 3 Major League Baseball games, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. The Red Sox, Johnny Bench was the Red Sox, right?
That's before my time. Wasn't he a Yankee guy?
Johnny Bench? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Johnny Bench. No, Red Sox. I'm pretty sure he's Red Sox.
Okay.
Anyways, out of, I've gone through 80 of the 100 so far, and out of everybody, he impressed me the most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, the book has got a lot of pictures, because pictures have all kinds of statistics.
Yeah.
But Johnny Bench was a catcher and Hall of Famer. So, anyways, I like him so far. I don't know the last 20 how it's going to fare, but we'll see.
Do you know? Do you
Space,
remember the name
space,
Carl?
space,
I mean, oh man, the
space,
name just slipped
space,
my head.
space.
He was a Red Sox catcher, and he went over to the White Sox, I think.
You said Carl,
I thought it was Carl, but
not Yastrzemski.
no.
Okay.
Catcher. Man, the name just slipped my head. He was my next door neighbor growing up. Carlton Fisk. Carlton Fisk.
Space.
Yes, definitely know him.
Yeah,
Know of him.
yeah. He was a cool guy. He used to play baseball with us kids in the streets, and then when some of the Red Sox players would come up, you know, for visits, they would play with us on the streets. But as soon as the grown-ups got out there and started talking baseball, they all like took off. So. Well, I've been reading a lot of well, the book that's in the email that came out, book of the month. I was trying to work my way through it. That was another book that was recommended to me, and it's kind of slow moving. It's a legal thriller. It's okay, but it's kind of slow reading in my realm here. So I've been going back and I downloaded all the Marchenko books, Richard Marchenko books, who was an old Navy SEAL who developed SEAL Team 6 and Red Cell. And they're pretty good. They're based on some of the stories that he had in his 30 years in the SEALs. So I tend to, when I can't find anything good on Bard, I tend to go back to rereading books that I've read a while ago, you know?
Space.
I like to once in a while read a book that I read, before, like Pellucidar and some of Edgar Rice Burroughs' books I've read several times. What's I going to ask you? John Grisham, was the legal one by him?
No, it's by Bailey. I can't remember the name of the book. Bree, do you have it in front of you by any chance?
Let me check and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Space.
I can't remember the name of the book. That's how exciting it is, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm also.
It's not as good as Grissom. That's I was comparing him to Grissom, and I didn't think it was that level of a writer.
Right.
Is it McMurtry and Drake, the legal thriller series?
Yeah. Yep.
The first book is called The Professor by Robert Bailey.
Robert Bailey. Okay. Yeah.
I do have one book on my Victor Rita right now for Lighthouse for the Blind Book Club, and it's called Framed. And it's true stories by Grisham of people that got framed and have spent, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in prison, and then they're finally released. Somebody believes them and gets new evidence, and it's see, I don't. I read for entertainment. That's how I look at it. And this book is not quite entertaining. It's true to life. And I don't like the stuff that's in it when you hear what judges and lawyers and police did just to get a case closed and
Yeah,
to move on. And, and that guy there has to spend 20, 30 years in jail, and he didn't do anything wrong. It kind of upsets me. So I don't particularly like to read those kind.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't lean towards those either. I did when I was younger. Like I used to love this famous lawyer that wrote a lot of famous cases or tried a lot of cases, defense lawyer. And he was really, really good. But some of the stuff he talked about is like, I don't know, but a little unjust. A lot of injustices going on. So
Space.
Yeah, because you'd like to know that your police and judges are not corrupt.
and it's hard not to find ones that aren't not corrupt. So well, I'm thinking about going back into Bard and really expanding uh, what I'm looking for, like totally going outside my realm of normal reading and go back to some of the old stuff that was written, and just kind of experiment with some of the old, I don't know, mysteries or um, history. I like psychological history stuff or uh, historical type books. So I'm gonna see what I can come up with and just something new and different, and not depending on some of the garbage that they're putting on Bard lately. All right, Chuck. Anything else to add?
Space.
No, I can't think of anything that'd be exciting to hear.
Well, continue on reading, and we'll figure out what's going on next month, and hopefully people will recover enough from their 4th of July holiday so we can get a big group in here. We had a pretty good group the last time, so that's what I was expecting tonight, but I guess everybody's recovering.
Space.
Well, you can't fault, you guys send out, I get emails on my computer and I get texts on my cell phone, so there was enough warning.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good about that. I like the text for the reminders and the emails and stuff. I like those. Um, we just got to market it a little bit better and get some more people on there, and talk about because these type of groups work really well when you have a bunch of people. So,
Space.
I agree.
all right, Chuck. Well, thanks for coming on. Anyways, I appreciate it. Always good to hear from you.
Space.
Okay, and we'll see you in about 30 days.
All right. Thanks for joining the Wisdom Book Club and talking about your books. And we will talk to you again next month. Thanks, Bree.